battle we're really watching between Brown and Rogers.
And here comes the one to go from Phil Pence, our chief starter here at Horn Rapids.
One left, and that's going to be a battle. That final lap between Brown and Rogers, third place. There is Gabe Tesh. And he's put it in cruise control. Jason Webb, start to finish, he's been the leader of this Federated Auto Parts Tag Junior race.
Yeah, Jesse Webb, that's a name you're going to be hearing coming around. I mean, he is a shoot.
Here comes Jesse Webb out of the chicane and down the straightaway. Jesse Webb is our winner going away in the Federated Auto Parts Tag Junior race. The House of Auto Parts and Paints Tag Junior race, more specifically.
How about Gabe Tesh? I mean, the kid hasn't hardly run all year. He runs here Saturday shootout, he gets second.
Second
Amazing.
place for Tesh, followed by Brown and Rogers in third and fourth, and then Nolan Allison rounding out the top five here. And so once again, the winner of the Tag Junior race is Jesse Webb going away. We're going to step aside, and when we come back, Cooper Perkins in victory lane with our winner. Let's set it down to Cooper Perkins, who is standing by with our winner.
Winner of the Tag Juniors, Jesse Webb. Jesse, congratulations. You had to fight off Gabe there at the end. An outstanding race for you. Take me through your perspective.
Oh, it was a good race. Off the start, I got the jump that you usually get from pole, and I was able to hold that and just keep that gap or gain on it. It was like 1/10 quicker a lap, which still over like a 12-lap race will make a difference.
We've heard a lot tonight about how the course cools down as you get to the nighttime. Tell me a little bit about the difference between racing in the heats earlier today and racing in the final just now.
Well, I've never raced at night like this before, but yeah, you can definitely tell that the track did cool down, and you really lose the rear more than you lose the front, for me at least, and it seemed like some of my competitors too. Yeah, lost the rear. That's kind of in braking sooner. So.
How long did it take you to adjust to that?
I adjusted pretty quickly. I'm 2 years into karting, not even, so I mean, it was cool.
So you get this win now. What are you gonna do the rest of the night?
Well, I got a 4-stroke race to go out and try and do good in that, starting fourth. So see how that goes.
What do you say we see you here a little bit later then? All right, Jesse Webb, winner of the Tag Juniors.
Thanks, Cooper. Coming up next on the Saturday Night Shootout, the Redder & Company World Formula Race. Stay with us. And welcome back to the Tri-City Kart Club. Up next, it's the Redder & Company World Formula Race.
And this is where it gets different. They do it like Formula One. On the point, the 28, going to be Dakota Gridlin. Young hot dog that's really going on the thrill. 3 Sean Keys, the 66, Greg Norman, the 45, Brian Green. The other 66, we got 2 of them, or it's 661 actually, is Mike Pierce and Bryce Peterson in the 17.
Looks like Dakota Gridlin is leading things in the early going.
That kid is tough, let me tell you.
Yeah, that's the 28 of Gridlin in first place. Nudged ahead of Sean Keys, who started out on the pole.
Yeah, Keys has come into his own as well. Definitely definitely an improved driver, no doubt. Normandin, he's gonna pull out. He's gonna get Keys into one.
Looking to be aggressive early on, that's fun.
And took Brian Green with him. Keys hanging tough on the outside. Brian Green finally gets into the 3rd spot, so Keys gets shuffled back to 4th.
That's allowing Gridlin to open up a little space with the rest of the pack as they all work their way around that horseshoe.
I think you'll find Normandin is pretty good. He was really good in the 2nd heat race, and he was putting up some numbers equal to Gridlin. Now, whether or not he can get up there and make something of this one, we'll have to wait and see.
Well, he moved up from 4th to 3rd, and now he's got his sights set on
Gridlin.
Yeah, definitely.
Bryce Peterson in the bright orange helmet there in the 17, clear down the tail end of the field. Once or twice a year he comes out and runs, so he's doing the boat thing now, and so he's a little bit rusty, but he's hanging, and plus he's a big kid and he gives away a little bit of weight as well, but he's a wheel, no doubt about it.
Let's run down the field here real quick as we went through that first lap. Dakota Gridlin in first, followed by Greg Normandin in second, Brian Green third, Sean Keys fourth, and Mike Pierce in fifth. There is Gridlin with about a 2 to 3 kart length lead, working through that chicane.
And you know, these world formulas are such that, like in the late race, you pull out and you make a pit, it doesn't work. It takes you another maybe lap or sort of really get back up into full speed, you know, singing. And so a mistake shows up huge on the racetrack. I mean, it might show up in feet, just a little mistake. Very important with these 4-strokes to keep them rolling. Funny, this is a night race. Last weekend at PARC down in Oregon, Dakota Gridlin won the night race there too as well against Brian Green and Greg Normandin and the rest of the clan. So he's going to try to get 2 for 2.
And I wonder, sometimes I would think that a night race, your driving style might fit that a little bit better.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think they race any different than a day show, other than maybe, I mean, Brian...
They talk about how the track is a little bit cooler, so they go faster.
Correct. But really, that's telling me they race the racetrack. They don't really... I mean, you race other people, but truthfully, first you race the racetrack, and that's what you got to beat first, and then the other guys.
Good battle there between Normandin and Green for that second spot. Green is not really letting go Normandin, who made the pass.
Believe us or not, I believe Brian is late 60s, maybe. He's up there, same as Normandin. I mean, they're mid 60s, so they're the elder statesmen of this bunch here.
They're the AARP.
Yeah, they are, but they're fast.
Of the KRT.
I mean, they are always fast everywhere they go.
See Gridlin there around the horseshoe, followed by the two 60 plus.
Gridlin went a 44.711. Normandin went a 44.931. Green goes an 8:20, so he was actually quicker than Normandin in that lap. But again, getting there is one thing, getting by is another, and it doesn't get any easier the closer you get to the front.
Halfway through this race now. There is Gridlin. The last couple of races here, we've seen this where that a little bit of kind of a cloud of dust out of that first few turns, and then it seems like our leader emerges and then is able to sustain. Let's see if that script holds true with Gridlin here in this race.
That is correct. And you know, they've transitioned from the day to the night. Hopefully they were late enough in that second heat race, they got an idea, but you still really don't 100% know until you actually get there. So it's a guess at best, Brian, no matter what. It's just the more educated it is, the better.
This is race number 6 on the 10-race docket for the 5th annual Saturday Night Shootout. What an incredible all-star night of racing. A Redder & Company World Formula race, and Dakota Gridlin is our leader.
And he is going to work. 44.713, his best lap on lap 5 was a 44.711. Don't get much more consistent than that. Normandin right there with a 992, Green with a 994. I mean, look how close this is. Sean Keys' last lap was one of the quickest cars in the racetrack. He's running 4th.
And Normandin and Green are pretty much nose to tail, and they've been that way for several laps.
Brian Green has got, I can't even count how many championships he's got. Grand National Championships. Greg Normandin won one. So I mean, these guys are These guys just aren't your ordinary racers. They've been there and done that. But this kid's gonna win for you. I got the pleasure of watching him on the dirt too during the winter. He comes and runs the indoor stuff, and he is every bit as fast there as he is here. Oh, Bryce Peterson, Mike Pierce having a good little battle back there in 5th and 6th. So you had a chance to come out last year and do a little pre-drive in these things out here at Tri-City. So what did you think as a driver actually being out there?
I can tell you it's tough stuff. I did not do particularly well. So when I had an opportunity to come back this year and test out the track a little bit, I passed.
Sweet.
Because I ended up in the infield and in the lap of another driver. And,
no.
So it was a little bit dangerous. I thought maybe I should retire and leave the kart racing to the pros like Dakota Gridlin, who is in that 28 in first place, and that lead keeps getting wider and wider on Normandin and Green in the 66 and 45.
Yep, Sean Keys as well. I'm surprised Keys is back for you. He ran really good in the heat races, but there again, that's that transition phase. So you either hit it or you nail it or you don't. So
yeah, he's kind of in no man's land there in 4th, and then in 5th and 6th you've got Pierce and Peterson.
yeah, I like that battle. That's been a good one.
Peterson tries to make a move. Pierce able to close the door.
I mean, if you would have watched Bryce Peterson as a junior and you saw him, that you would never believe he's a man-child now. I mean, being big is not as much of a disadvantage as it used to be. I mean, being big like that, it does make a difference. Man, Gridlin is rolling. 44.490. Norman went a 693 and Brian Green went a 714. It's all track position at this point now. Through the chicane, watch this. Like one go-kart almost, right? They're just almost in unison.
So when they're that close, you'd think that that car behind Brian Green has a shot going into turn 1, maybe make a pass. We'll see here. This is the final lap. There's the white flag.
We'll see.
And nice job, Norman, holding him away.
That's it.
There is Gridlin through the horseshoe and into the dog leg, and Gridlin can taste that victory.
Etiquette says you give them 4 wheels. So they give them 4 wheels and that's it. That's enough. That's all you're getting. You're going to go by, you got enough room to go by. But Gridlin isn't going to have to worry about that.
Dakota Gridlin down the straightaway. Dakota Gridlin going to win the Redder and Company World Formula. Great battle there. Woo, for 2nd and 3rd. Wow. Greg Normandin holding off Brian Green. Wow.
Almost lost that. Rowdy all over it.
That was by a nose. Exciting finish there to the Redder and Company World Formula race. Let's send it down to Cooper Perkins, who is in victory lane with our winner, Dakota Gridlin.
Winner of the World Formula, Dakota Gridlin, a dominating run. You won by more than 3 seconds and ran away with it. What was that like, being all the way by yourself in front, cruising to the finish?
I was just happy I was that far ahead. I'm kind of still learning this track, so I was kind of surprised how far I got. So I was just happy.
Is this your first weekend racing here?
No, this would probably be like my 5th, but this is a difficult track to learn, so I'm getting better at it, let's just say.
Oh, as you improve and get more familiar with it, what are you trying to accomplish at each turn?
To make sure I don't slide out and lose any speed coming out and just getting a good exit.
Things cool down a lot here as the night goes on. You raced earlier today in the heats, but things are different. We keep hearing about that. What was your experience in the night track?
Well, I noticed was early in the day, I was hitting my rev limiter before the start-finish lane. Now, at the end of the day, we lost a little bit of traction, so I was hitting it a little bit after, so it was a little bit slower.
Tonight you take this, you have an opportunity to enjoy it. What do you do the rest of the night?
Right now, I'm going to try to get undressed, watch some racing, and pack up and get ready to leave.
Dakota, congratulations. Winner, the World Formula.
Thanks, Cooper. Much more to come here in the 5th annual Saturday Night Shootout. Be back right after this. Boy, this is going to be fun right here. Welcome back to the Tri-City Kart Club. This is the Miller Lawn Care Senior Briggs 206 race.
Look at this field, Brian Levitan. Look at this. It never ends.
How many karts in this one, Terry?
31.
This is going to be fun here.
We're going to earn our keep in this one.
This is like rush hour traffic in Seattle, 5 o'clock in the afternoon.
In some ways, it might be worse. We'll see, but they're going to start from a standing start, and with 31 karts, it's probably a wise thing. The engine that they run in this, the Briggs 206, it's a sealed motor, meaning you get it from Briggs and you don't touch it. So everybody's the same, and it's meant to be, it's a driver's strike. Not only that, but affordability-wise, everybody's the same motor, same everything. You buy one anywhere, it's the same. That's why you have 31 plus here in this, because it's affordable, it's even, and it's on you.
Well, the big name in this race
is Kyle Wick.
That's right, he's sitting in where else but first place.
However, I will say, he might not be the man tonight. Jake Preston could very well be the man, or Derek Wang. It's all going to come down to, we just can't guess it from here. There's just too many good ones in this one to try to even pick. I mean, Wang, Carson, one of the best. Sessler, Jordan, Mike Gutenberger coming back, Tyler Bessel and Derek, I mean, good night. There's just too many. I can't pick one. You can pick one, but I can't.
Kyle Wick coming into the race tonight. I mean, what a season he's had. I mean, you can't get much better than the #1 ranking.
No, you can't, but it's not in this class. He just kind of runs this for fun. So he's in and out. Some days he runs it, other times he doesn't. So, I mean, he's not in this all day, every day like some of these other guys are.
And Jake Preston's all over his tail. And in talking to Kyle before this race, you know, just asking his thoughts on the heats, he had said that Preston was somebody he thought he was going to have to contend with for the entire race. They really seemed set up about the same. They were running pretty close.
Less than 6 inches the whole way, and you'll watch this here.
And I think Wang had to make some adjustments to his ride to try and catch up to them based on how they were doing in the heats. He was more concerned with Preston.
Yep. Kyle Wick, Jake Preston, Derek Wang in the 3rd spot. The 2 of Richard Carson, who is also a very underrated wheelman, in my opinion. He is 4th. Gabe Sessler 5th. Monroe Jordan 6th. Gutenberger 7th. Tyler Bessel went 8th. The 9 of Derek Biddle 9th. And Ray Tozzi is 10th. There is still some good drivers back here, Brian. Miles Peterson, Reese Garman.
Had a driver there just go out on the dirt a little bit, able to recover. And we finally have our first spin out. It looked like we were pretty close to having that earlier. That's a 6.
That's Nate McCarley. That's too bad. He was a front runner all day. And there you have it. One loss of focus, one little mistake, and bam, your night's done.
And look at Wick there with Preston right underneath them. They are pushing each other to separate a little bit. Wang right behind him.
And watch, when they come down the main chute, there will be no room between Preston's front bumper and Wick's rear bumper. I mean, he's pushing him down that front straightaway.
That is a battle. This is fun here. And it looks like that first 3 is really kind of separating a little bit. Wang right now is right up on Preston's bumper too.
Right, and just out of the picture, the 2 of Richard Carson, mark my words, he'll be there at the end.
He's really trying to jump in with that pack and get into that drafting situation.
God, this is awesome. Derek Wang in the 3rd spot. Preston pushing your leader, Auburn's Kyle Wick. Pretty polished kid, Wick, isn't he, when you talk to him?
Oh, he is, and he's, you know what? What I've noticed is he takes it all in stride, just kind of enjoys it, real laid back. You got to be kind of even keel, I think, when you're traveling all over the country and competing, and just enjoys it. He has found himself in victory lane, winning a class of some kind every year that this Saturday night shootout has been going on. So he has certainly made a name for himself here.
Yeah, and you know the other cool thing about Wick is, you know, a lot of times when you're that talented and you're that good and you've got that many wins, you kind of, it shows. You think you're that, but man, he's such a humble kid, and as good as he is, you know, I mean, you never hear him. He doesn't really talk about himself. He's awesome.
Just 19 years old and driving like he's driving. It's pretty incredible. He's got a younger brother, Connor,
who is going to be probably as good eventually. He's pretty close to it now. He's going to make one smart car owner somewhere a dang good wheelman. I know that. Kyle Wick will.
And you got Wick there along with Preston and Wang, and it's just like they are just chained together.
Yeah. They're not going anywhere. Look at this, coming up on lap traffic already. They're going to go to work on the 14.
Wick able to maintain that lead, working around lap traffic.
Boy, it looked like the 14.
And things have loosened up a little bit behind him.
There is Wick as he goes into turn number 4. Uh-oh. Preston with problems. That puts Wang to 2nd. Oh, Wang got by.
Yeah, he did. When they went through that lap traffic, Preston and Wang had a little trouble. And it looks like Wang was able to navigate past.
So what did Wick tell you about the chicane?
That's where he likes to get a lot of separation. That he'll go right over those bumps, and that's where he can really push past the field and get a little separation, or get a little gain on somebody he's trying to chase down and make a pass in turn 1. And that's really his MO. That's where he likes to operate.
Just a little subtle thing, but if you watch Kyle Wick, they had a great shot of him there just a minute ago. Watch him use his body. In every corner, he's loading whatever tire he needs by moving his, little spark there, got a wheel off. A sprocket bender right there, they call that. But just watch his body. You'll see it move side to side. He's trying to load that tire that he needs.
And he's leaning into that straightaway.
In the tuck. Jordan is 5th. Richard Carson is 4th. Gabe Sessler into 604 is 6th. Tyler Besselin, he's back. I haven't seen him in a long time. Running well in the 617. Michael Gutenberger as well. Another regular here who's come back after a long leave of absence. Kason Lau, 9th, and Derek Biddle, 10th.
Well, there you got Kyle Wick and Derek Wang. They've kind of separated themselves from the field. Wang is really trying to hang with Wick here, trying to take advantage of that drafting on that back straightaway because the wind's coming at them, and it's able to kind of hang close to Kyle Wick. And they have been able to separate a little bit from Jake Preston and everybody else.
Yeah, I can't believe Preston lost that much ground going by lap traffic, but maybe he did. Hopefully nothing awry there with the 51.
Wang is all over Kyle Wick now.
Yep, and you know what? For these two guys, this is, I mean, I hate to use the term, but it's mindless. More or less they're relaxing here. This is fun for them. You know, after all the serious shifter stuff and DD2 and all the stuff they run, it's just nice and relaxed. Go out and have some fun. They don't have to really worry about it. boy, Carson and Preston. Preston finds himself with Carson all over his backside now.
And he has drifted to the back of the pack, and Kyle Wick thinking that Preston was going to be his toughest competition in this race. Wang is saying, actually, it's going to be me, sir.
Yep, and every bit as tough. Yeah, they're rolling. Tyler Bestwin in the 617, back in the 7th spot. Michael Gutenberger in the 344 is 8th. Daytona Arms in the 500 is 9th. Biddle 10th. Kason Lau 11th. These are the two that are surprising me. Lau and Barrera Garcia 11th and 12th. That's not normally where they run. These are the times I've seen.
There's the white flag. 1 lap left here.
Oh, Wang! He's going to try the outside in 4.
And Wick is able to close the door. Well, this is going to be a fun finish here to the Senior Briggs 206.
Oh!
Wang going to make a move.
Oh,
And wow, Kyle Wick goes into the dirt.
Wow, it's never over till it's over, Brian, right? Wayne gonna go on to win it. We'll see if there is one. He's gonna win it.
He's going to win it. Boy, he had to fight off. He had to fight off Jake Preston at the end there. But that was some finish there. Kyle Wick.
What I tell you, Carson's 3rd. He'll be there at the end. The guy is just crafty at that. Somehow, some way, he's always there at the end.
There is Derek Wang, our winner. Boy, what a finish to the Miller Lawn Care Senior Briggs 206. Derek Wang outlasting Kyle Wick to win it. Let's step aside, and when we come back, Cooper Perkins in victory lane with our winner. Interesting. Derek Wang penalized 5 seconds in that last race. The Miller Lawn Care Senior Briggs 206, and that means that Jake Preston is the winner. And let's send it down to Cooper Perkins, who is standing by in victory lane with our winner.
Winner of the Senior Briggs 206, Jake Preston, in a wild race. It ends after a challenge, and Jake, you become the winner of this. Take me through that last couple of laps where things were so close at the front in that 4-man cluster.
Yeah, so basically what happened was I had about a 3-second gap between me and second, and that last lap, the two in the front were battling it out and ended up wrecking each other out. I ended up in second, but with a 5-second penalty for first, they ended up pushing me up to first. So, yep.
So that was Derek Wang, who originally crossed first but was penalized, and Kyle Wick, who wrecked and then it came in 4th. Now, those are two outstanding racers. Kyle, one of the top in the country, but you're able to get the win here. What does that mean to you?
It's great. Last year I got 3rd, so 2 more positions this year. It was great. Yeah.
Competing out here, we've heard a lot today about how the track cools down at night after you guys run your heats in the hot day earlier.
Yeah.
How did you have to adjust out there?
Well, first I just changed tire pressure. I went up by 2 psi when I went out for the first session. For my last heat, I went up to 15 psi, and then on the final, I went up to 15.5, which helped out a lot.
Well, clearly what you were doing worked. Jake Preston, the winner, the Senior Briggs 206.
Thanks, Cooper. Coming up next, much more racing on the 5th annual Saturday Night Shootout. Back right after this. Speaking of kart racing, we've got another good one here coming up. It's the Midnight Motorsports Tag Cadet. Smaller field of 4 karts.
Yep.
There's the green flag, and we are racing, folks.
Several familiar names in here. Caleb Keck, Justin Moore, Forrest Adams, and Lucy Becklin.
And there's the 19 of Caleb Keck. He's already a winner earlier tonight.
Kid's good.
Doing battle with Moore again. They battled for most of that last race.
Absolutely, Brian. Forrest Adams picking up a big win in that second heat race. And Lucy Becklin from down in Medford, Oregon.
Already some big separation there between Keck and Moore and the other two.
Yeah, like you said, you know, there's kids that just get it, but that's the beauty of karting. They all get it when they get it. Oh, there to Moore just went a 43.688. Wow. But you know, Forrest Adams was running those numbers in the second heat race, so
they sometimes make a little adjustment in the cart after the second heat race, before the race, and maybe they adjust
and
the wrong
sometimes
way.
it's the wrong way. That's correct. Absolutely, and it doesn't take much.
If say in golf you're off by a millimeter, you're in the trees, right? And that's probably the same situation in racing.
Yes, it is. Oh, boy.
A little bit of a, boy, that was a nice save there by Moore.
It doesn't even phase him, right? You or I go off, put a wheel off, you're hard to be pounding and pumping. These kids just keep going.
A little bit of a spin out there.
Lucy Becklin. She's a good one. And again, her brother Cooper is very good in the shifters, and so you know, does that have a difference? Maybe it does, but maybe Lucy's she just enjoys being out here and racing, but then again, maybe she's going to be as serious as her brother. So you know, who knows? But she's out here doing a great job in the fourth spot.
It's a good opportunity to get a good look at some talented young drivers again here towards the end of this Saturday night shootout event. Got a couple more big races coming up. The Monteith Insurance Junior 2 Briggs 206, and then of course the Wicked Fab Shifters.
Yep, both of those are going to be amazing races. You know, but for a lot of motorsports series, they don't realize that karting is perpetual motion as far as having drivers. It's just, nobody gives karting really the credit it deserves. I mean, almost, you look up any motorsports celebrity who's done anything, and their history goes back to karting in some way, shape, or form.
Well, I think just this kind of racing makes you better. Any kind of racing you go on to.
Like anything, it's all about seat time. The more you have, the better you're going to get.
It's amazing. That's what Spencer Fricky was talking about. The amount of seat time he's getting. I mean, at that age, you know, between the ages of 7 and 10 years old, those formative years, I mean, that's irreplaceable. It becomes almost innate, some of the stuff you learn.
Right. And that's why the old statement of, you know, everybody gets something new, or they get a new kart and they want to know, well, should I do this, and what do I have, and I need this, and just go drive your go-kart. You'll learn so much just by driving it. You have to learn what the right questions are to ask, and that's what driving your go-kart gives you. Lucy Becklin. You know, and they're racing hard now. They're going to the last lap, maybe tangle, take each other, but you know what? They're playing at the end of the night, or when the main event's over. They're over kicking footballs and playing hoops or whatever. It's pretty awesome, actually.
Yeah, these kids grow up on a racetrack together, spend the whole summer together. It's fun. We're about halfway through this one here, the Midnight Motorsports Tag Cadet Race, and it's been a Caleb Keck and Tristan Moore battle from the get-go.
Second place Moore with the quick lap of the race so far, 43.688. Look at that, nose to tail. But boy, the motors are almost in unison. Sounds like a set of twins. Pretty amazing. There is Forrest Adams.
Caleb Keck is just mistake-free.
Yeah, he is.
Not leaving an opening for Tristan Moore at all.
He's on rails. Oh, good shot at Lucy Becklin. Getting into one. Forrest Adams. when you see these kids get out of it, they're like, they're like 3 feet tall. You're going, what? You drove that? It's amazing.
Yeah, it kind of blows your mind a little bit.
It does.
Because I couldn't drive these things as hard as they're driving them.
Well, you could. You just wouldn't be on the racetrack very much. But, I mean, these kids are good. But, there again, it goes down to the seat time deal. These kids are in it almost every weekend somewhere. So you're going to get good if you're doing it enough. Forrest Adams.
He's run a solid race, kind of out in space all by himself.
He sure
Way
has.
out there in third place.
Absolutely.
But he's run a solid race. Like you said, he has the fastest lap of the race.
And he just bettered that one. He goes a 43.427. Keck went a 43.885.
Keck was flawless through that final turn before the straightaway.
Oh!
There goes Moore, and again, Keck's able to shut the door on him going into the turn. Out of the straightaway. Wow. That's good racing.
That's one of those things you got to feel when you pull out, right? When you pull out, you either know I'm going to go or if you got to think about it, you better not.
And you saw there coming out of that second turn, Tristan Moore took it a little bit too tight and slid out a little bit, lost some ground on Caleb Keck.
Yeah.
He's about a cart and a half length behind now.
So again, as we say, it might be get cliche, but again, it boils down to whoever makes the fewest mistakes. And it's especially true in motorsport.
In this case, with Tristan Moore in second place, got to at least give him an E for effort for trying to go after first place. He's, at this point, if he loses a little bit of track position, he'll just finish in second. And he thought he had his moment to shoot the gap there, and he couldn't do it.
Absolutely. And sometimes you show it too early. That's just a risk you take. But all these kids, I mean, just to be out here competing, it doesn't matter whether you finish 8th or 1st or it's a feat to be here and to compete. I mean, it's a cool thing. So Mr. Pitts waving that 1 to go.
And it looks like Tristan Moore has been able to close the gap a little bit. And he'll have another shot here right up on his bumper.
A 43.9 for Keck, a 43.4 for Moore, and a 43.402 for Adams. So he dropped that quick lap of the race again.
There they go. Into the dogleg.
Yep. And 6 is where you might get, I don't know. Moore might be thinking something different, but let's see.
That's perfect through the S.
To the stripe.
And let's see here. This
Drag
is going to be
race.
tight.
Oh.
And it looks like Caleb Keck by 1 car length.
.093. What is that? 93 1,000ths of a second.
That was tight. Caleb Keck was the winner and the leader pretty much throughout the race. But Tristan Moore made him earn every inch of that race.
Sure did, every lap. Way to go, Lucy Backlund. Way to stay with it, girl. That's good stuff.
And once again, our winner in the Midnight Motorsports Tag Cadet race is Caleb Keck. He'll be in victory lane with Cooper Perkins right after this short timeout. And now standing by in victory lane with our winner of the Midnight Motorsports race, the cadet race, is Cooper Perkins.
Winner of the Tag Cadet, Caleb Keck. We already talked with him once tonight. He wins such a close race, 0.09 seconds. Absolutely outstanding. What was it like being toe-to-toe with Tristan there until the end?
I was actually kind of scared. I thought he was going to beat me there. I had to run the defensive line out of turn 3 to keep him from passing me.
You guys were close basically the whole race. Were you looking over your shoulder at him?
Yeah.
Well, you know he's back there. What are you trying to do from the start to keep him out of your sights?
I'm trying to go harder into the corners and smoother and hope to gap him a little bit.
You won earlier tonight. Were you feeling good and confident out there?
Yeah,
How much do you think that helped?
100% more.
So now you get to sit around and watch a little bit more racing. Such a successful night. Caleb, congratulations. The winner of the Tag Juniors.
Thanks, Cooper. Much more racing action to come here in the Saturday night shootout. Be back right after this. And you are getting a good look here at the field for the Monteith Insurance Junior 2 Briggs 206. This is going to be an incredible battle right here. They are all
29 of them, Brian.
29, unbelievable. Out in some field, we've already got a huge spin out here.
Yeah.
A bunch of cars get stuck in that in between turns 2 and 3.
Oh, not Sessler.
Or that's turn 2 where they got stuck.
You're not gonna. Wait. Oh man. See, and the rule is, if you're still running and you're off the track and you can get it going, you're fine. But the minute you get out of the go-kart, you're done. Tough break. Oh, check out Bryson Smith. He's gonna go. He's gonna go for the pass.
Well, they've got 2 laps. They got the yellow flag out, so I think this is a caution right here.
What?
Yeah, they got the yellow flag out. Am I right?
Huh? Yeah, they're going. So there's no restart.
No restart. Okay. I saw the yellow flag waving. You can see it in the background there.
I mean, I hate to say it, but if you're smart, you just sit there. You don't go. You just sit there. Because that way you don't have to, especially if you lost some positions. At least that's what I would do.
And they've reset the field here. Bryson Smith in first place. Trey Arnton listed in second.
That's correct. No, but that's not. There's Arnton right there leading the way. It turned. Going to turn number 4.
.29 carts in that field. Not surprising. Going to that first turn, coming into the second. You might have some spin outs.
There is Smith leading the way. Trey Arnton second. Jesse Webb. Oh no, Zach Meyer third. Jesse Webb fourth. Kieran Rogers fifth. Corey Rouse sixth. Thomas Olson in the 7th spot. Spencer Dutton 8th. Tegan Fletcher 9th. And Mason Smart from McMinnville, Oregon rounds out the top 10.
I got a nice field in here. Trey Arnton, boy, I talked to his father, and it's interesting how different he is as a driver compared to his sister Daytona. Dad says that Daytona's very calculated, really strategic with the racing, whereas Trey likes to just let it fly.
Wide open, baby.
Wide open. And we'll see a little bit of that tonight here in this race.
Yep. And back down in the field, away 16th, Riley Miller, a capable wheel. Nolan Allison, who we've seen. Hunter Hesseltine in the 14th spot. Garrett Pointer.
You are watching the Junior 2 Briggs 206.
Boy, Pointer fell to 18th. That's surprising. He had a great couple of heat races.
This race started off with some exciting action. Big wreck heading into the second turn. Bunch of cars off the track already. And it's Trey Arnton in the 97 leading things here in the early going.
Trey Arnton in the 2nd spot. 3rd is Jesse Webb. That is what I want to see, is how maybe Webb handles Bryson Smith and Trey Arnton.
And Arnton making the pass there on the 97 of Bryson Smith, and I should know better. Trey Arnton is obviously the number 3 car, hence the name Trey. But looks like Smith's. Oh, go for it.
No, that's cool. Little crisscross applesauce for the 97 of Bryson Smith. That little over and under move. Look at Arnton in turn 4. That's tough to do there, but he stuck it.
That is tight. And riding along with them is Jesse Webb.
Oh,
somebody
yeah.
that they both got to pay attention to. Webb already a winner tonight.
This is going to be interesting, Brian. It's going to be real interesting.
Yeah, that 9 car of Jesse Webb, definitely one to keep an eye on in the 3rd spot. Already coming up on some lap traffic.
That's the 62 of Madison Cook. but they just put a lap down. You know, Trey Arnson, I do believe, spells his name with a 3 instead of the E, and it's a Dale Earnhardt 3.
That's right, paying a little homage to one of the greats.
Correct.
In the world of racing.
And his sister, whose name is Daytona, her number's 500.
Makes sense.
Boy, this is going to be so good. I'm really curious to see how, well, both Bryson Smith and Jesse Webb, they haven't run each other yet. I want to see how this is going to turn out.
This one is, I have a feeling there's going to be a few more swaps before this thing's done. How closely they're all running together. There's the 15. Oh, that's Kieran Rogers. That's the 5F.
The 5, yeah, he's got it's like a pound or a hashtag or something on there
And
instead
it looks
of
like a 15,
1.
just from, yeah, I got you. And they're making the passes. Bryson Smith. Arnson tries to go right back.
Boy, Smith made that look easy. But look at Art, he's back. Whew. Almost.
They are going after each other. Jason Webb, meanwhile, being very patient behind him. And now catching them in 4th place is Kieran Rogers.
Correct.
And Kieran Rogers is benefiting from all that action between the first 2 cars in the race.
Do not count out the 27 of Zach Meyer. He has been solid all day.
There goes Arnson again. Flashes before the first turn.
Madison Cook, unfortunately, in that 62, who we just saw that shot of, that speed shot, has retired out. Tough break there.
Well, this right here is the most crowded field of drivers at the top of a race that we've seen yet tonight here, and it's in one of the bigger races. This is fun to watch.
Yes, it is. I mean, they look like one cart, just the way they all pirouette together.
Arnson again making a move, and it's early too. He's being real aggressive early on. And is he able to fly by? Boy, they're still fighting it out for first place. Arnson might lose second place because of it.
Webb just buying his time. He's in the catbird seat, so.
And it's funny because, boy, Mr. Arnson was saying Trey just likes to let it go.
And he will.
True to form, he is running a very different race than maybe his sister would.
He's a good kid too. Boy, that's a tough lead pack right there. Oh, Arnson. But he's aggressive because he wants to make Bryson Smith know, hey, I'm here to play. I'm not.
Arnson's going to make the pass there.
And look at Webb.
Webb almost slipped by Smith as well. He might.
He might do it here.
Just kind of testing the waters a little bit.
The exit of 2 is tough because it's such a short run to 3 that if you get on that outside, you could get hung out to dry.
All 4 of those cars look like they went through the chicane pretty well.
Absolutely, and it's Webb in 4th.
Webb's going to make a move. And he's back into 3rd.
He got by the 5X of Kieran Rogers. Don't look now, but in 5th is the 63 of Corey Rao. And boy, the last couple times I've seen him run, he is definitely underrated.
Yeah, and boy, there's because of all that back and forth action with 1 and 2, we've probably tightened up to about 6 cars here. You can see those other 2 That would be Corey Rao and Thomas Olson kind of creeping in.
Ooh.
And I think Corey Rao just ended up in the dirt a little bit, might get passed by Thomas Olson.
You know, Olson has been fast as well. He had a tough break in the second heat race, but he's had the speed to run with the leaders all day. There's Olson.
Matt Arnton just doing everything he can to hold off Smith. Or is that, excuse me, no, you're right, that's Olson. My bad.
And then that's Rao in the 463, who is 6th. Zach Meyer in the 27 is 7th. Mason Smart from McMinnville. Great kid, much improved. I mean, his racecraft has improved like 100%.
1 lap to go. This has been a battle from the start. Primarily Arntzen and Smith.
Oh boy, look at that
Smith
move.
is going to make the pass. The 97 in the lead.
Webb goes to 3rd.
Arntzen make another. He likes to make the pass here in the horseshoe. Not able to find any room whatsoever. Boy, that was a move by Bryson Smith there to go to the dogleg.
Yes, it was, boy. And it was effortless too. He just made it look easy.
Is there enough time for Arntzen to get back in this thing and reclaim the lead? Here is Bryson Smith. There's the checker. Arntzen pops out, and he is going to finish in 2nd. And Bryson Smith is our winner in the Monteith Insurance Junior 2 Briggs 206. What a finish.
59 1,000ths of a second.
That might have been our best finish yet, and that was race number 9. What will race number 10 bring us? Who knows? Be exciting. What a finish in the Monteith Insurance Junior 2 Briggs 206. And when we come back after this short timeout, Cooper Perkins in victory lane with our winner, Bryson Smith. Let's send it down to Cooper Perkins, who is in victory lane with our winner here in the Monteith Insurance Junior 2 Briggs 206.
With the winner of the Junior 2 Briggs 206, Bryson Smith. Bryson, incredible race, incredible finish. It took down to the final lap for you to pass Trey Arntzen and get the win. Take me through your perspective and how that all played out.
Well, I mean, I knew it was going to be a tough race from the beginning. All running really close lap times all day. I really took the strategy of just trying to get in the front, trying to pull away. It didn't work, but at the end, I managed to get in the front, and from my perspective, it's just really good race.
You were trailing Trey for most of that last lap until you made an outstanding move. What were you looking for that you executed so well there?
I was just looking for a good opening. Usually on the last lap, the person first is really guarding, and I just had just barely enough room to get in there, and I squeezed in. Great race. That was probably the best race I've ever had.
It's an outstanding way to finish your weekend, but we heard so much about it today, about how the track changes throughout the day. You race the heats early when it's hot, and you race tonight in the final when it's cooled down. How did you have to adjust out there to the cooler track?
I mean, the grip is just, the amount of grip that changed. I mean, at the beginning it was so hot, but at the end it's like being in an ice rink. I mean, you're really just slipping around. It was great. I mean, you had to really take the corners smooth. A lot of the time, you're really trying to play it safe. At the end there, it was kind of a risk. I got the reward, so I mean, we're good. But yeah, it's just at the beginning, it's all really rushing it for the laps. But at the end, it's just playing it safe.
You said it perfectly. You got the reward. You get the win in the Junior 2 Briggs 206. Bryson Smith, congratulations.
Thanks, Cooper. One more race left here in tonight's Saturday night shootout here at the Tri-City Kart Club. We'll be back right after this. And welcome back to the Horn Rapids Kart Track. Brian Levitan, Terry Bridges. Terry, the final race of the 5th annual Saturday night shootout, and this is going to be a good one.
Oh, absolutely. Now, there's 2 classes combined here. Our shifter class is brought to you by Wicked Fabrication, who is Kyle Wick's dad, and Performance Coatings is sponsoring our shifter Masters. Masters is 40 and over, And here we go.
This is going to be good. Some big names. There's the number 3 of Ricky Worley. There's one of the big names out of Midnight Motorsports. Kyle Wick, I believe, was on the pole there for the shifter class.
You want to see magic? You're about ready to witness it. Keep your eye on Kyle Wick.
There he is. Kyle Wick looked like he had last race he was in the bag. In the Senior Briggs 206, got spun out in that final back straightaway by Derek Wang. Finished in 7th. See how he recovers here in the final race of the night.
He'll be fine. He's a kid that, you know, lets it roll. It rolls off. And 206 isn't really his class. He's just running for fun. So I don't think Kyle's too concerned about that. He's more focused on the shifter anyway. So he's fine.
Kyle's been a kid who's won every year this shootout. He's always won a class somewhere every year of the shootout. So he definitely wants to get back in victory lane here tonight. Keep that streak going.
Well, you know what? All it is we're witnessing now what we knew back 5-6 years ago. He was going to be good, and we're just getting to see the result of his labor here, no doubt about it.
He's not just good. The number 1 on his cart could represent his.
He's a national shifter champ.
Number 1 is
in the country.
In the country, that's where he's rated. So
against names like Billy Musgrave, and I mean, there's too many to list. It's not easy. Oh, no, we got one off.
Connor Wick, his brother, is right behind him.
We got 2 off over there, right before turn number 5. Hard to see who that is. It might be a couple Masters guys. By the way, Shifter Masters being led by Brian Nixon in the 10, followed by Jason Hall in the 64, Rusty Lingle, Britt Robinson, and Steve Siller.
And that looks like the 14.
Oh, that's TJ Madonna. So TJ Madonna, one of them, and Miles Peterson out.
Wow, so 2 big names there. The shifters already out. And top 3, you see them stuck in the middle of the track. It's got to be a little bit frustrating to have your night end that early in the biggest race of the night.
Well, nobody was swinging, so that's a good thing.
There is Ricky Worley in 3rd place in the number 3 car.
And I'm going to tell you, Ricky Worley's a better shifter driver than he gets credit for. He just doesn't do it enough.
Brothers Wick 1-2 in this race here in the early going.
Just watch Kyle Wick. His cart is always, seems like it's always underneath him, and even if it's out from underneath him, he sees, oh! He's out!
Kyle Wick just spun out. What happened there?
Oh, my goodness.
It looks
unbelievable.
And his cart is not starting back up.
The
he is done.
It just looks like it's gone awry.
And now it's Connor Wick. And boy, I got to tell you, I was talking to Connor and Kyle before this race, and I was asking Connor about what it's like to race with his brother. He's like, well, I always come in 2nd. And he was a little exasperated about it. Looks like tonight he has a chance to win this thing.
Wow.
Boy, some bad luck here befalling the usually dominant Kyle Wick.
And I'm here to tell you, when he does break, it is always something ridiculous. It's too bad. Wow. Well, that's a big change in this deal. That changes the whole game face of this one. You know, but if you ask Craig about the brothers Wick, everything was a competition. He says they can't even go to the bathroom without it being a race to see who gets there first. So a lot of competition there.
Yeah, I could tell it was a little bit of a sensitive subject, and I kind of backed off a little bit. Connor was like, well, he's got 3 years on me, you know. So there's Ricky Worley. Let's see if he can gain a little ground on the younger Wick. Doesn't look like it, as he is probably a few seconds behind him, and that's tough to make up.
Boy, that's the 219.
He's got about half the straightaway on him.
Yeah, that's Wick. Ricky Worley 2nd. Cooper Becklin in the 3rd spot. Aaron Dost in the 9th. Finally lost in those gremlins. He's 4th. Travis Henson, a many-time IKF Gold Cup champ, 5th. And Jacob Parker is 6th.
Yeah, and I'm just wondering with Kyle Wick there, he had a pretty handsome lead there on his brother. And so there must have been some sort of a car issue because he didn't have to push it too hard.
It appeared if you saw the way he was wiggling the shifter handle, it's like the linkage, maybe the linkage came off and he couldn't shift it. Wowee. Again, don't ever count your chickens for their hats, that's for sure.
No, we thought there was going to be a wick in victory lane, just didn't realize it was going to be Connor, potentially. There's still some racing left, about halfway through this final race of the Saturday Night Shootout, 5th annual, and 5 years